Okay. Check to see if this works. Okay. I remember the right command. Smart. Smart of me. So, anyways. Just gonna see if I can. Yeah, no stream was today, but I don't know. I just wanted to do a quick live video. I don't know. Feels like it would be nice to do something like that. Probably not, because no one's watching, but anyways. Unannounced, as always, we're gonna start. Yeah. I'm gonna go through my tier list of the 3 4 stars and tell you why I placed them there, so you can have if you don't have any idea of what to choose, you gotta. I hope I can help. Jesus. No script is tough. Anyways, let's start with the tier list. So, sup loser, hey Minecraft kid. I'm just gonna do some. Maybe I should make this silent for my but anyways, I'm just here explaining my tier list. I don't know if you're any interested, and I will try to not, interact too much with chat. Just gonna go through this really quick. I beat Zapeli. You did? Damn. Anyways. Let me start anew. I'm gonna just quickly go through my tier list, because in about 10 minutes we're gonna get those 3 4 stars. So I might as well just go through it really quick. For people that don't have any idea. So yeah, let's just start. Tier E, it's self-explanatory. It's the worst in the tier, and my reasoning for those 3 down there is the fact that they don't have a specific niche, or can not fulfill the niche well that they are presenting. So just Beowulf, he's supposed to deal big damage, but it is really stuck. He's really stuck being a Gen 1 Zerker, so he has a tough time getting his MP, or has a tough time surviving and or dealing damage without ridiculous support. I mean, every Berserker can deal a lot of damage, but as a standalone, he doesn't survive all too much, and his skills are not that good. Steno is supposed to be an anti-male, but there's a weaker 3-star version that can do this much better, because she has to depend on deaths, on instant kill, which is a really low chance to begin with. So and she deals mediocre damage and has a really strange card deck and MP. Buster into 3 quick cards. Blah, blah. Outside of that, most of her skills are fine aside from one that's really mediocre, as with Beowulf too. For him it's 2, that's why he's lower on the list than Steno. Gawain, same problem. He is supposed to deal a lot of damage, but he's built like as a Berserker, but doesn't deal as much as one. He does come with a battery, but he loses out on his 30% Buster. So until the buff, which I will show you later how he will be tiered, he's not gonna fare well. He's not too much of a good choice. So why is my wife not number 1? I should not react. So anyways, this is all a learning process. It's the first time making something like this. I should make scripts. Anyways, the next thing, we go to the D tier, which is above E, but both of them share probably the same difficulties or the same flaws, because overall D is just performing it marginally better than E. So yeah, Jianghui, people deem him the male Steno, but I think he does decently well. He has a bunch of good skills going for him. I didn't use him too much, so all I can really say is that his performance might not be as stellar as other assassins, because he doesn't fulfill anything, and he's an assassin. So there's not much damage going, and quick effectiveness on that low level is not gonna help too much, but he's still gonna perform, decently. I guess there are other people that can do his job much better in terms of damage or raw star generation. Those two riders, which name I usually always forget, they are down there basically on the fact that all three skills are focusing on one job that she does, the one thing she does, and it's not really that great, dealing a lot of crit damage. I mean, one is for generating stars and the other two are for dealing the damage, but the problem is she needs all three skills immediately used for a rider that might not deal as much damage as others, or don't give as much utility. She's stuck being in this one niche of trying to deal damage, but her card deck, damage output, and skills just say otherwise. 7 minutes left. Okay, I try to explain as good as I can, because there's a lot of people. Yeah. I try to be short too. So, Astolfo's the next. Why is he in D? He has only one niche, being having a big battery for a multi-target AoE MP, and that's all I can say. The rest is inconsistent. The stun is inconsistent, the damage is just a glorified charisma for one turn, and the last skill, that is the MP battery, also has more RNG skills. He's a mixed bag. It is highly inconsistent to have RNG going on for you as some sort of main feature, so it doesn't work. The same thing with Kamhail. The thing with him is, I know he has less than stellar attacks, hit counts on his cards, and damage might be really underwhelming, but the main issue too is that the fact that he has a lot of utility. It's just that other servants can do that as well and don't need as much commitment, because he has an evasion that only triggers at 100% if he skills that skill at 10. And while it doesn't sound too difficult getting, maxed hero, it is just up until then inconsistent. And you have to consider that it is really costly to level up a servant. So you have to prioritize on that skill, and the main difficulty is the others fall off, and his damage is just gonna be mediocre overall, and the support might be nice, but I don't think it would be worth choosing him over other lancers. Well, Siegfried, the same thing. Pretty much has the highest HP but the lowest attack, so the problem is he has low output, so they're trying to patch him up with a lot of damage upgrades on his effects, bust ups and the likes, and it works against dragons, but this is a fairly short niche, and you could argue that you can use Giorgio to make someone a dragon and use Secret, but you might as well just go for a lesser setup and kill with someone that deals more damage up front, like Salter. Salter can deal that damage the same way, but doesn't need Giorgio or setup. But I guess against dragons he's fine. Well, let's go with C damage. Li Xuan is on the lowest there, because his skills are all 1 turn or 6 turn cooldown and really unsynergistic. The problem is that he has an ignore invincibility and an ignore evasion, if I remember correctly, but they are tied to the wrong skills, and they also have a 6 turn cooldown, so you you might want to deal more damage at points, so you have to activate one skill, but then you're missing out on the ignore invincibility. For example, with the art's effectiveness. It's on it. So, because the skill cooldown is so high, and also the effects might be good, but they don't give you much of a return because you're stuck with waiting 6 turns to do it again. He's placed on the lowest on the C tier. He still has more utility to offer than the lower ones, just because of the virtue of him having an evasion for survivability, decent damage output as a lancer and an arts lancer, and ignore invincibility and evasion for the ones that are trickier to defeat. Well, Rama is there purely based on, he has damage buffs. He has that one crit gather rate into big damage. It is fine. Honestly, it's better than the other ones so far. Better than at least Anna. Give me a second, I'm gonna now look up the name. One was Anna. Anna, Bonnie, and Marie Reed. He does have a lot more skills to compensate, so meaning that the crit damage is all focused on one skill, and he has a little bit of more utility in the guts. It's really useful. So yeah, he has that tiny niche for dealing, for having a good MP for demons and dealing decent damage with his crits, and yeah, having a guts. Guts is something of a niche use, but it's still nice to have. Well, now we go to Liz. Oh, this is taking quite some time, huh? Gonna keep it even shorter. Liz is down there because of the pure virtue of her having not too great skills, but they are decent. Guts, charisma, defense down. It's nice to have, but it's not too strong. And I think her MP is also not that great. And yeah, that's why Nero is higher, because she deals more damage, but it's still a little bit more, not too much. She does come with the death down on her MP, which lasts only for one turn, but if you do MP chaining, it's pretty nice to have. And she also has that triple guts, so more than a Liz. Salta places over Nero just because of the fact that she deals more damage, and that's about it. Tamamo, Lancelot's Berserker, and Fran share all the same tier just because they're multi-target, quick Berserker AoEs. Some of them may be better in the future than the others, but all of them do the same thing. And Tamamo, pre-buff is just gonna be it's just gonna be like Fran. She's getting stunned and that's it. Lancelot is the only one that might be able to go, that is going or continuing fighting with even after SMP, but the fact that his skills are just mediocre and charging him takes a long time. He's not gonna place better than Fran, who deals more superior damage. Pensatela, which name I can't spell, she's over them just because of the Buster support and the fact that she has Golden Rule, which gives her a debuff immunity. She doesn't come with a guts, but she does come with a debuff immunity, which is nice to have, always nice to have. So she can get stunned, attack down, defense down, or whatever. You have to be careful though on how to place her, because she can't survive that well. Blood Extra, he's there just because, or over all of them, just because he has ignore invincibility on his MP, single target. A good skill set, nice niche, and also a couple of other supportive skills that he can go with. Pretty simple. Nitro Chris is over all of them just because you can charge it twice if you want, using an LMB Kaleidoscope. If you really feel like it, you can charge it twice. She has a lot more freedom in what Cs you can use just because of the fact that she charges her MP really fast. She comes with a heal, she comes with a guts, so she's also usable in challenge quests. So yeah, overall really nice servant. Probably only fulfills this one job, but fulfills this job that well. It just makes her being, tier that high just because she performs it well. And the book. Give me a second about the book. Names are mysterious for me. Nursery rhymes. Places above her just because she might have a lower charge on her MP, but she has more utility going on. More than dealing AoE caster damage. Having a good defense on her charge, having a crit form, or a short window where she deals a lot of crit damage, or supposedly high crit damage. And yeah, the last skill, give me a second. Gotta look up the last skill. I'm totally not prepared, because I never am. And Shapeshift, yeah. It was on Shapeshift. I think the charge has to remove debuff on her own. Yeah. She does come with a Shapeshift with May, which makes her able to survive MPs given the right setup, which is usually just consists of Mash MP, and then nurseries. It's a one-off, but it still works. Here. The next one is her. Suzuka Gozen. Let me check if there's the resets already started. Should be, right? Yeah. Nice. Suzuka Gozen placed almost on the highest on the C tier list just because she needs time. I know. It's just placed there purely based on she has ignore evasion. She has possibly one of the better charges. It is taking a long time, but it's still charging it for a good amount. It is probably not be good for the normal farm knots, but it is pretty fine for longer fights. She deals good decent damage, has an attack reduction. Mystic Eyes for charming males is pretty awful, but having some extra effect on it, no matter how bad it is, it's fine. And yeah, that good buster up. That's all I can say, honestly. Good damage and some sort of utility. You would argue that Nursery Rhymes has more utility, but overall less damage. But that's more of an argumental point of who is better or who should be placed more higher. Ibaraki's up there, based purely on the fact that she deals probably the best damage on the C damage tier list. Less than Beowulf overall, but more survive. She has more survivability and comes with a nice charisma. A really good one for her. So that's why she's based that high. She can survive a couple of MPs given the right setup. She has some little heal, no guts, but she can survive MPs, so it's fine. Once, but better than nothing, yeah. And she deals good damage. Lancer Altar, we're going with here, I guess. Yeah, I wanted to do this a little earlier, so if people have problems choosing, they can watch this. I'm gonna see if I can, This is just a live video, like I said. Just gonna try and help people with their choices. It might be a bit too late, but I'm a lazy boy. Lancetoria deals the most momentary damage on her crit up, and has good utility on MP with MP seal and curse. It is on a chance though. I do believe it's on a chance. Let me check. But overall, she deals probably the best consistent damage, the best consistent spike damage. Just because her skill, her personal instinct skill covers a lot of the falls. Yeah, 60%. So it's not too consistent, but it's always nice to have. So, C utility. What? The music just went. Yeah. The Assassin of the Nightless City, or Wu Zetian. Only up there based on that one torture technique and her charisma of the Empress. Not much more to say. I don't use her that much and I really don't like her. But if I had to tier her, she's probably C. Not too bad, not too good, but not too bad either. Marie is over her because of she has heal, she has a little star generation on her. She has probably the best invincibility skill, but outside of that she doesn't provide too much else. So yeah, C, not A. She probably doesn't rank D because she has a lot more utility than them. a lot more uses. ME Assassin, lots of utility, bad MP damage. One skill is Magecraft is pretty useless because his MP damage is awful and he can't loop. He can't do anything with his arts. Everything else is really good. A targetable focus and free turn ignore invincibility is amazing with additional crit damage. Really, really nice to have. But outside of that, he needs that MP buff. Camilla has vampirism. That's all she needs to have. Vampirism, an own heal, some extra defense down, and another skill that gives her stars. Nice to have, honestly. She doesn't perform as well as an assassin, so that passive star generation is really, really useful. Outside of that, nothing more to say. Media Lily, really good burst heal, a lot of heals. She can remove debuffs on future buffs, but now considering that, yeah, only considering without this buff, she's pretty fine. The only problem is she doesn't come with guts like Iris Vial, so ultimately you can out heal damage that goes over your HP by 200%. Some enemies deal a lot of damage, so you can't really heal all of that because it's it's instant kill damage. So yeah, outside of that, she's probably usable on specific comps that give a lot of defense up, a lot more stally. Is anyone on FGO right now? I can't seem to log in. I'm an FGO. Just going through my tier list. Let me see. I can choose mine, but not right now. I go through everything. This will be some sort of live video. I will deem it not dead to have people choose in the next couple of days. And yeah, Edison over Media because he has that overcharge MP. Pretty nice to have on some servants, and has a burst star generation and his own MP generation, and comes with skill seal and MP seal. Pretty nice to have. Overall, not too strong, not too useful outside of after his 5 turns, but other than that, you can use him for some burst. I lost connection, can't get back in. Good luck getting back in. That's all I can say. Deon, over them just because of the 3 turn focus and the 1 evasion she has, or he depends. And the debuff removal on herself, which is always bad because you can never get rid of stun or silence or skill seals. You can remove them since it's blocking you from doing that, but outside of that, it's pretty nice because it gives you the resistance to it. Yeah, Atalanta, having that burst quick and having an evasion with probably consistent star generation for an archer is pretty fine. There's a lot of there's a lackluster performance here and there, but overall there's not many quick buffers outside of Shishu, but she's limited and only single target, and providing at least some sort of stars in return. Marta, there, almost the queen of the C utility because of the fact that having buff removal, having debuff removal, having heals, and some minor damage is pretty fine. She's not on the highest tier purely on the fact that she's a rider, so she takes all the stars, reducing your team composition by a tiny bit. Helena is up there, because she's mini Merlin. Little increase in little increase in Buster, Quicken Arts, a charge for everyone, and a decent a tiny star generation. And I do remember that her MP had a nice effect on it. Let me quickly look. Always prepared, boy. So yeah, had decent utility, and she doesn't steal stars. That's why she's over Marta. A tier. This is why you should definitely consider I just tell you, A and the highest tier, S tier, are probably the ones you want to choose because they fulfill a lot of niches or fulfill a lot of roles and deal significant damage over the others. even if they don't fulfill the niches some others have on the C or lower tier list, they make up for it with damage, with sheer utility they have, and yeah, maybe also availability. You might not be able to get them, given who it is we're talking about. Starting with Media Lancer, probably one with the worst skill set, but the strong SMP. Has a decent card count. She's pretty nice. Not too great on the skills, but everything else is pretty nice on her. Good damage output, good hit counts, and one skill at least is workable before the buff. Gorgon up there, A, a little biased because of the limited availability, but B is just an Avenger. If you couldn't get him Jolter, you don't have many options. Hessian Lobo is the other one that is not locked by story, so you technically only have technically only have going for Buster Avenger types of damage, and she does it really well and has that unique guts going with her, so she's not dying instantly. Hessian Lobo is put up on top of her just purely based on that he has little more going than dealing damage. He's an Avenger, he will deal damage. He's a quick focused Avenger, so you can deal you can have some compositions going with him. But yeah, overall he has probably better skills right now, and also more utility with removing buffs, increasing his own defense to the point of him being able to survive MPs, and and a nice ignore evasion on his on his MP, tiered higher because of that. So I gotta farm a lot purple. Emiya is placed alongside with Emiya Alter on the same tier most likely. The thing is, I think Emiya Alter is pretty much more biasedly placed there than anything, but I will try to make him fit in the tier list. But first with Emiya, having an evasion, having an incredible skill that gives him 100% more star generation. Sadly, he has a triple arts stack, so it's not gonna give him a lot of stars, but it's still one of the more amazing skills. Hawkeye B+. Is one of the more important, more better ones, and he has Projection Magecraft, which works a little better on him than on Emiya Alter, because he has, that scuffy card deck to begin with. So you always end up with using it when you use your Buster, and then probably another arts, and then a Buster again. Outside of that, yeah, pretty nice guy to have. He also ignores defense buffs. Nice boy. Emiya Alter is probably one that, is a bit of a weird choice, because he only has an attack up and a defense up, and then the Projection Magecraft, which works really bad on him. It is fine, but it's not too great on him. But his buffs are, they are really clean. I really like clean buffs, which gives you, I just gonna read it out. Increases own defense for 3 attacks, 5 turns, and has a 5-turn cooldown. It is really nice to have. And he's working the best when he has teammates left with him, because he can just stack those buffs, so to speak. He can just keep on refreshing, and it can also work on a short amount of time when you fight by yourself, since the buff is quite a lot, 50% on max. So yeah, you can make him survive things like the aforementioned Projection Magecraft, which works worse on him, and then the attack version, which gives him 40% for 3 times. Nice to have. His MP right now is weaker than Chloe's, but you will see how you will see later. As soon as he gets a buff, he will outperform an MP2 Chloe. Also has that nice MP Gorge Drain, which is inconsistent but better than nothing. A lot of skills or a lot of overcharge effects on other MPs don't have too much going for, or reducing their attack by 10% or something like that. While it is RNG, it is still nice to have, and it's still probably favorable over others. So yeah, Emiya Alter, Probably doesn't deserve that spot, probably a bit lower, but you know, I place him here just on the verge of him having amazing skills and a really, really good damage. So the best ones, if you don't have them, you should definitely choose them over the others because of what they do. They do the best in here. Heracles, there's nothing to say about this guy. He deals a lot of damage, good survivability. If you need a Zerker, he is the one that you should choose over everyone else. Tristan, this guy has so much utility. He's big David. He's a big giant David. Has a battery that, you know, you can only use on a second turn, but it's doable. Having an ignore evasion on a single target MP, which archers, you know, it's pretty rare to have a single target archer. A really good one at that too. And then, you know, having evasion for everyone, having buff removal. This guy has everything. This guy has too much. That's why he's placed there. If you don't have a good archer, you should definitely consider Tristan. And even if you have a good archer, Tristan might even fill over the niches your team lacks. Mainly having once or twice per challenge quest evasion buff for the whole team, or removing buffs that other servants might not be able to because they don't have it in the kit. Lance Saberlot, easily saying, he gives the stars, he deals the damage, big boy. Nothing more to say. He is a walking fragment 2030. If you ever need a lancer, or no, not a lancer, a saber that, you know, that is an assassin in disguise, use him. He's pretty nice to have. Also acts as a nice support if you don't want to use him as a main damage dealer, because of the fact that he has that increased damage taken to enemies. It's not much, but it's still better than nothing. Overall, it will stack up if the enemy survives and you have to rely on non-MP damage. And above all else, obviously it's gonna be Bro Carskill, which I don't choose. I don't have Carskill. I would like to have him, but I will choose him on the other account that I have. I will choose between Emmy Alter and Tristan. Still don't know who. Probably Tristan is the better move, but you know, I like Emmy Alter more. Biased. Anyways, he has really unique niche in having a debuff success skill up on his skills, and arts effectiveness up that is a really great. Having, you know, star generation for some reason, I don't know, so you can fit him in a non-fragment team. In a decently hybrid team like Lance Saberlot or something like Atalanta could also benefit from a just star generation. Someone that usually doesn't perform well in generating stars, he can make it work, and has, you know, for some reason, something like MHX surprisingly works nicely with him. The debuff success works for her stun. The arts effectiveness works her charging her single target MP, which is strong, and you know. And having that star generation makes up for her not having free quick cards. So yeah, he does surprisingly work well with MHX. And you know, he's cool. Okay, Carskill is better than Archergill because he's a person you can talk to. He's a bro. He's the ultimate bro. So you thought this was the end of this, eh? Yeah, I will just go quickly over it because, you know, you might be seeing, yeah, I try to not consider buffs into it, and basically this is how it would tiered with buffs. Imagine everyone still there, but just what you see moved onto those respective places. Yeah. Sadly, the D and E tier doesn't change. Gawain moves up from the E tier. Incredible damage and support for future Sunlight teams. Tamamo is probably better than Lancelot, just because of the fact that she can be a standalone high damage dealer with invincibility and healing and stuff. She has a lot of utility going. So yeah, Seek moves a bit up too because, you know, even more damage now. Ooh, and it would be too hard pressed to to put him lower or keeping the same because people would probably be angry. This is a surprising high increase in combat because he gets a battery as well with everything else. So considering that you do invest in him, he will perform a lot better with his buff. Marta, obviously, you know, still the same with Media having a lot more heal and buff removal, I think, was it? She only gets it on her MP with the recent buff she gotten. So if you need a oh no, she does do it for everyone else too. Already. It's just more burst heal. More burst heal, higher debuff resistance. It's nice to have. Still the same though, still the same. Edison's moving up quite a lot just because of the virtue of him having the shapeshift that you can apply to other people. And giving a cooldown reduction by -1, which is a niche only Malta had. So even better as in support, or even working as a standalone to work against his 10 cooldown star generation. Emia Assassin, higher tiered. All of this he still has, but also he comes with utility now. With damage. With MP damage. Good. And, yeah. Nothing changes really on the A tier too. Emia Alta deals more damage. Media deals more damage. And Gorgon is changing it from the A tier to the best tier just because her buffs making her a lot stronger. And she's still probably the only viable Buster Avenger that you can acquire normally. But it's still limited to a certain degree. So, and here really quick, the tier list for if you want to choose a story locked servant, I rate them like this. So just to keep it really short, no Lishuwen, Nero if it's your waifu, Salta is always the middle ground choice. Edison Lalta, Lance Artoria, Alta, Media, Lily, and Emia, purely on the fact that they do have interesting abilities going on, and they are pretty rare in general on support lists. Aside from Lance Artoria, Alta, but the other three are pretty rare. And then the big boys, you know, if you need big damage, Gawain. If you need really good utility, Trishan, and even more big damage, Gorgon. That's it. Only took me 30 minutes to explain all of this. I hope this helped you guys. This will be on YouTube. It will probably be uncut because I don't know how to cut things. I'm a barbarian. I will learn everything in due time. But yes, I hope that helped you. This helped you, so you know what to choose. Or if you were never you know, in any doubt, that reassures your choices. And yeah, you can always put in the comment section if there's anything wrong with the tier list. Something is placed way lower than it should be. Something is placed way higher. I try to be as unbiased as possible, and I will call out the people that are biased. Here, just Carskill is up here. He's not the best one of them. He's really unique and really nice, but probably biased. Emmy Alta's biased, but I would say all the others are as best as I could placed in the tier. So yeah. So choosing ours for this one. Yeah. He's limited. He's a big chunky boy. He's an archer because I don't have good archers outside of Atalanta. And I don't want to use any. I don't want to choose any lancers because the choices in between someone that I already have. MP2 would be nice, but I want something unique, and then everyone else that I don't really want to use. One person, maybe two with flood, but everything else would probably not be nice to choose. Yeah, good. So Tristan, as much as I would like this guy, because he's so freaking incredibly useful, I'm gonna choose Emmy Alta and regret my decision. My decision has been made, and yeah. So you're gonna no, I'm not gonna choose Tristan. I'm probably gonna end the stream for now, and so that is it's a separate live stream / video, you know. It's nice to have that separated from the normal stream. I'm just gonna stream a little bit more. I'm just gonna grind a bit and stuff. But outside of that, yeah, we're gonna choose Emmy Alta. Ooh, boy, oh boy. I mean, it's Poochie, okay? I'm not regretting that choice. It is choosing who's It is like I said, Tristan or Emia, both work fine. Both work fine. So. Do I hear him?
お前がマスターか。ひどい面構えだ。まあいい。おかしななりをしているが、これでもアーチャーだ。せいぜいうまく使え。
Nice. I've tried pulling him for a bunch of times. It never worked. So I guess I'm gonna choose my own. You know, if the game doesn't give me one, I will choose it myself. So, nice. Okay, gotta end the stream now.